But I don't know, man. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's what I'd do. If I knew I was going to die tomorrow,
take a couple of
I'd take some of the worst out, and just
burn down a 10-cent office
and just go with it, man.
So murder is your answer.
Murder.
You will go murder.
Murder is my answer.
You made it really dark. Oh wow.
Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Zeno Damus. I'm here with
Q.
And on Skype,
we got the Lucky Blood Axe.
Lucky Blood Axe. There we go. All right, let's get started. All right, let's move on to our next subject. And this is another one Jarek actually sent us. Apparently, he was a fan of this book series. I vaguely remember the series, but
I don't remember the content, but I remember reading it.
But so if you're a fan of the Riftwar cycle by Raymond Feist, there is going to be a TV series adaptation of fantasy books, which, hey, I'm always excited to see a new fantasy series. I love fantasy.
By who?
But yeah, it all depends on, who's doing it or how they're going to do it. Let's see. Formed and Horizontal have formed 6 studios as a genre-focused content company. So it's a new company that's coming about doing it. So they'll make the series and then I guess try to sell it to a distributor, or get it on the CW or something. I don't know. But it's not tied.
We got no idea what to expect.
It's not tied, it seems, to a distributor yet. It is a new company coming together, which is apparently going to focus on fantasy, focus on this kind of content. So
okay. I haven't seen any of the trigger words, so that's a good sign.
So it's fantasy, sci-fi, and horror storytelling.
That's a good mix. Thought fantasy and horror play well together.
6 studios. It may be a new studio to keep an eye out for. Even if you're not a fan of the Riftwar cycle, that could definitely be something.
They have a balanced team working on it. I like that. Actual balanced team, you know what I'm saying?
They've got some big names in there. Yeah.
Obi-Wan hadn't come out yet. Fear of the Walking Dead, which I don't think that's the show. Is that the what?
Fear of the Walking Dead was a spinoff.
Was it
of the Walking
Was it any
Dead.
good?
No. I didn't like it. Some people have said it was good. Of course, by the time it came out, I was already burnt out on the whole Walking Dead premise.
How do you have in your filmography a untitled Pixar feature? You might as well go, I did a thing. What? Am I crazy? Unless the actual title is untitled. I'm like, untitled Pixar feature. You know what? I've also got one. You can't prove it.
Yeah, I got one. I got one over here.
I got an untitled picture as well.
It's in this box right now.
You might have seen it
out of the box.
All right. Well, you know what? I have hope because I love fantasy.
Yeah.
I love to see fantasy live action. I'll give it now. We know what?
Honestly,
we'll come back.
I have more faith of a series coming out of some new studio than I have any of the current major studios. Like
it hasn't been. I'd rather it be a new studio than the CW. That gives me more hope.
I mean, it's definitely we've had some shaky reproductions of books lately. So maybe this company, they sound like this is what they want to do. So maybe they'll do it right.
Hey, Blood Axe, how bad is it when you're a new company and you've got better cred already than the CW? like, oh God, good. You literally done nothing. I trust you more than the CW.
So this is an instance where sometimes bad publicity does not trump no publicity. Because it's funny, because when I hear, like you said earlier, if I hear something's coming on the CW, I think, low budget. And I really do. I think low budget. Yeah. Because like I was watching the show The 100, and it's a low budget a series, and it's about what you would expect from the CW. Versus if it was on HBO, which was paid, $10 million per Game of Thrones episode. Extremely high production value, a very high budget. So if it's not affiliated with the CW, then because the last time we talked about a book series being turned to a on-screen series was The Wheel of Time. And
Yeah,
while it
Amazon.
didn't follow the books, I enjoyed it, but I didn't read the books ahead of time, so I had no expectations going in.
That is what I've heard about that series. Is if you aren't a fan of the books, it's an enjoyable series.
I unfortunately have read enough Wheel of Time to cringe every time someone brings up that show. I wish I hadn't read it so I could enjoy it.
Well, and I think it was well done from a on-screen perspective, but you're right. If it's you've read the book and the source material is nowhere near what you get on screen, then you do get a sour taste in your mouth. There's so many examples of that, and hopefully they will stay true to the source material with this as well, and that will remain to be seen. And it's so hard for directors and writers to stay close to the source material. We don't want to just redo what the book is. Why not? You have a fan base that enjoys it. You may take some liberties, but stay close to the story, and I promise you'll actually have a good reception.
Well,
and maybe gain some followers along the way.
Let's put it this way: some of the best Stephen King shows that were made stayed really close to the story. But then, what did they do with the Dark Tower? They went away from the book and it did horribly.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me throw this in because I'm the only one here who's read. Well, I don't know. Blood Axe, have you read The Dark Tower? All of it?
I didn't read the entire series, nor did I watch the movie, but I read Pet Sematary. I read it. So I read several of the books, but I did. Even if I read it, I didn't watch it. I had the books to read, but I never got around to reading them.
The Dark Tower may be the longest motherfucking book series in the world. And do you know how much it hurts to have read all of the Dark Tower and then the movie has nothing to like? You're like, I spent months. It took me like 2 months to finish the Dark Tower. And then it's like the show comes out and I'm like, who the hell? What the hell is this? I spent 2 months on this and you're just going to make up some new bull. Okay, go ahead, man. This is all I'm going to say is that people who read the Dark Tower were pissed off.
But I just don't get why these corporations keep going further and further away from the source material. I mean, hell, Harry Potter, huge franchise, stayed very close.
Just a little bit off.
It wasn't until the end where they really strayed even that much.
Well, the last books needed it.
But
I would actually say that I felt the Deathly Hallows and the Half-Blood Prince did what they needed to do to polish up the story. But like you said, the first couple of books were like off the page, man.
Yeah.
Like right off the page.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So, I mean, we have examples of staying close to the book.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that it's hard for directors to do is to stay close to source material for whatever reason. But if you are able to continue in that vein, like we've seen in The Mandalorian and more recently the Boba Fett series, if you stay close to what George Lucas laid down as a source material, you will have fans and you will have people talking about it. Versus The Wheel of Time, you both have, I don't want to watch it, opinions because it's nowhere close to the material. So I'm like, okay, well, I may watch season 2 because I'm kind of partially invested, but it's not something that I'm like, okay, I've got to watch it. So we'll see. Hopefully it will stay close to it and it will not only appease fans that haven't read it, but also the fans that are familiar with it will enjoy it as well.
We'll see.
Be sure to check us out at Dicejunkies.com, where we have links to everywhere we can be found. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. I actually posted a picture to Instagram the other day, man.
Oh, did that No, it was a good picture. That was awesome. Well, you don't invite me to bars anymore. He goes to all the bars with his work friends.
Oh, be sure to check us out on YouTube, like and subscribe. We have a lot of game content that's been getting posted up from Blood Axe and Q there. Yeah, they've been doing some Dying Light. Of course, they keep you up to date on the latest with that other game. What is it called?
Tiny Tina's Wonderland?
No. The one where y'all build stuff. Grounded. There you go. Grounded content. I mean, that's some of the most popular content gaming wise is that Grounded content.
I got a video coming out for the best perks that'll be out probably in about a couple of days on because we made a mistake, double jump.
Yeah.
Oh, me and Blood Axe were looking at. Let's just say we're going to tell you what to buy and when to buy it.
Yeah. So be sure to check that out, like, subscribe so you get all those notifications. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.
All right.
Oh,
you know,
Oz,
YouTube.
unintentional surprise butt sex. Is that smooth? The surprise butt sex in Oz was a very common occurrence. Until it stopped being a surprise and it was like, butt sex. You know, like there. Does that make it better?
Yeah, it does.
We're going to call it surprise. We're canceled.